High school basketball is back on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Today from Bill Green Athletic Arena in Marion, Indiana, 3A regional action as the #1 Delta Eagles take on the Tippecanoe Valley Vikings. Good morning. Hello again, everyone. Brian Beaver along with you again today as we get set to send one of these two teams to Indiana's 3A Elite 8. Will it be Delta, #1 in the poll, 26-0, the state's only unbeaten team, having a great historical run for Mark Detweiler? Will it be the upset-inclined upstarts from Tippecanoe Valley? The Vikings are, in quotation marks at least, only 15-9. But winners of 8 of their last 9, they are on a roll just like Butta, and they are primed to be the underdog and the upset maker here today. The winner of this game will face the host Marion Giants in tonight's championship game. The Giants easily defeated Angola 59-38 in the first semifinal. You hear the crowd coming to its feet. We are right on top of the Delta section here on the southwest corner of the upper deck of this great arena. And the Delta Eagles got that hand going off the court to the locker room for the final time before this one gets underway. Tippecanoe Valley still on the floor shooting and warming up. We've got about 5 minutes of clock time to burn before this one gets underway. We mentioned Delta, #1 in the poll for better than a month now. Mark Detweiler's team has played 26 games and taken them all, and they'd like nothing more than to play their way into the title tilt tonight and get a chance to take on Marion in this gym that has been the home over the years of 8 state champions, 7 in single class, 1 in class basketball. So it's tough to find a better, nicer place to play a big-time marquee game, and this place is going to be rocking. Holds well over 7,000 here. We won't have that many for this game, and we didn't have that many for the first game. We had a good crowd, probably in the neighborhood of $5,000 for the first semifinal. A lot of the Marion folks have gone home or gone to lunch. Then they asked them to do that so the Angola people as well, so they could move out of the way and the Tippy Valley and Delta fans could come on in and get some better seats. So they do a really nice job running the tournament here at Marion High School, and this one is going to be spectacular for you Delta fans especially. This team is really rocking right now. They're playing great, and it's going to take a Herculean effort by an opponent and maybe a little bit of an off night as well for anyone to take down Delta. Marion is primed. I know a lot of people here in purple think they're going to do it. We'll have to wait and see. Delta has to win their way in before any of that matters anyhow. And you don't disrespect an opponent in Tippecanoe Valley. They could come here and win. So nothing is assumed. As I wrote on Twitter not too long ago, nothing is automatic in Hoosier hysteria. Upsets happen every year, and someone goes home really unhappy. Let's hope for Delta's sake that it's not the Eagles today. Both teams have now gone to the locker room. We're going to take our first timeout. When we come back, as Delta comes back on the floor, you hear the hand form. It's going to be Delta, Tippy Valley next on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. You stay right there.
The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community. Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's officials, the opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. A 50-50 ball. An elbow to the ribs. A sudden flash of tempers. In sports, anything can happen in the heat of the moment. The Indiana High School Athletic Association reminds you that when cooler heads, everybody wins. When the game heats up, will you keep your cool? This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to Bill Green Athletic Arena at Marion High School. We're about set for the introduction of the teams in today's regional semifinal between and Tippecanoe Valley. Brian Beaver along with you. Thanks for joining me today on the stream and worldwide on the internet. Spread the word to your friends. If you have someone from around the state, around the country, even on another continent, they can listen to this game live and archive this afternoon after it's over if they miss it live. Both teams are back on the floor. Both teams are ready for the introductions of the starting lineups in this one today. Delta comes in at 26-0, Tippecanoe Valley 15-9. The Vikings won a pair of games over Northwood and Wawasee to earn their way here. Delta, of course, 3 wins at the Newcastle sectional over Yorktown Blackford and the host Newcastle Trojans. Delta's non-starters will be introduced first because Delta is the visiting team in this game. They are the top team of the 2 in the bracket, and the bottom team is the home team, and that's Tippy Valley. You hear them being introduced downstairs. Here's how Delta will start them today. Number 3, Zach Garner, a 5'10 junior, averaging 2.7 points and 3 assists per game. Josh Bryan, jersey number 5, averaging 23 points a game. He's a 6'3 senior. Number 10, Tyler Wilburn, a 6'2 senior. He's averaging 10.9 points a game. Number 20, Josh Greenberg, a 5'11 junior, averaging 7 points a game. And the Tower Power, the X Factor, number 32, Brady Hunt, 12.3 points, 8 rebounds. He's a 6'5 sophomore. He's had a great state tournament. He is averaging about 5 points over his season average and almost double his rebounding. He's averaging 13 rebounds a game in the state tournament. The Eagle starters have been introduced. Yeah, here in the background, the PA address system here as they introduce the Tippecanoe Valley bench players. Here's how the Vikings will open things tonight for their head coach, Chad Patrick, who is also in his second year, as is Mark Detweiler at Delta. For the Vikings, number 10, Tanner Trapedi, a 5'8 junior, averaging 10.4 points per game. Number 22, Jalen Shepard, a 6'3 senior, averaging 6.8 points a game. Number 24, Parker Dalrymple, a 5'11 senior, averaging 12 a game. He's their leading scorer. Number 30, Wes Melanson, a 6' senior, averaging 6.3. And rounding out the starting lineup for Tippy Valley, number 34, Cam Parker, 9.8 points per game for the 6' senior. Delta in the road, navy blues with gold lettering and white trim. Tippy Valley in the white home uniforms with only outline for numbers, which broadcasters hate because you can't read them really hard. White on white with a little thin green line outlining the numbers. So we'll do our best for you here today. We're about set to go. Thanks for jumping on board and being part of the ride. And here we go. Can Delta make it 27 in a row? We're about to find out together as the Trojans will make it the Vikings and Eagles come to the center circle. It's going to be Brady Hunt doing the honors for Delta. And as soon as the jump man comes into the circle for Tippy Valley, I'll let you know who it is. It looks like it's going to be Jalen Shepard. And we're set to go. We're calling the game lengthwise, not horizontally on the court. So Delta will be taking it away to the opposite goal. They win the opening tip, and here come the Eagles with the first possession of the game. Josh Bryan, man-to-man defense out of the chute by Tippy Valley, not a zone. Bryan has it out on top, dribbles near side, now gets over to Wilburn. He drives to the free throw line, pulls up his jumper, no good. Rebound comes down to Tippecanoe Valley. It's Melanson with the board. Vikings with their first chance, 30 seconds into the game. Dalrymple out on top, three-pointer on the way, good. From the top of the key, Cam Parker buries the triple, and it's 3-0 Tippecanoe Valley. They hit a lot of threes. Delta taking their time, looking for a good shot. Bryan gets it out on top to Wilburn. They swing it on the wing to Greenberg. Greenberg gets to the corner, and Garner. Garner looks to feed the cutter, can't do it. They'll take it back out and reset on top with Greenberg. Drives to the free throw line, works it near side corner. Garner gives it back to Greenberg, and now out on top between the rings to Josh Bryan. You hear the Tippy Valley fans going crazy. Bryan fakes a three. Corner three from Hunt. It's on the way, no good. Rebound inside by Greenberg. His stick back is good. Josh Greenberg with his first bucket, and it's a 3-2 Tippy Valley lead, a minute and a half into this one. Delta manning on defense. On the wing, Melanson's three-pointer, no good. Board inside, nice block out by Hunt. He'll bring it all the way on his own. Stops at the arc, dribbles it off his foot, picks it back up. Not of the wing, wide open three. Wilburn on the way, no. Rebound inside, Delta had it a moment. Hunt takes it, puts it up, no good, but he's fouled. He'll shoot two. First foul of the game goes against the Vikings. Tanner Trapedi is the guilty party. Brady Hunt will go to the stripe to shoot a pair. Brady Hunt on the year is a 79% free throw shooter. First of two, this one can tie. It's on the way, and it's good. Make it 3-3. Hunt with his first point. He'll get another one. 6'5" sophomore playing great here in the state tournament. Also got the second one. Hunt with two in the game. Delta with its first lead at 4-3 with 6:15 to go here in the first quarter. Melanson has it on the wing, works it on top to Trapedi. Now near side to Parker, who works on Bryan, drives him inside, fires a wide shot up the glass, and it goes. Parker with 5 points in the game. He's got all five to make it 5-4. On the other end, Bryan's three is no good. Inside rebound by Wilburn. He'll go to the stripe this time on another foul by the Vikings on the box out. Jalen Shepard has the foul, second on the Vikings, and going to the stripe is Tyler Wilburn for two shots. As a team, Delta shoots 73% at the line, and they've got another one as Wilburn. Nothing but net on the first one to tie this thing at 5 apiece. Wilburn looking for the lead. He's got it. 2-point trip to the line for Wilburn, and Delta goes back on top. 6-5 with 5:48 to go first quarter. Trapedi dribbling across the timeline slowly, guarded by Garner. Garner hands to Parker, who drives wildly. He started to fall. It's going to be a foul on Delta. That's going to be on Josh Bryan. First one on him. Parker was going to travel if he didn't get bailed out by the call, and the call did bail him out. Baseline inbound play right under us here, just to the left of the basket, the trigger man for Tippy Valley. Bryan will guard the inbound passer. Comes in the corner right away to Parker. Parker back on the wing to Trapedi. Behind a screen. Now he'll drive inside. Fires. Lays it up. No good. Rebound Wilburn of Delta. Good defensive stand that time by the Eagles. Here comes Garner quickly on the wing. Hunt thought about a three. Double team. Drives at baseline. Whistle before he can shoot. It's going to be a common foul on the Vikings. Fouls are starting to add up for Tippy Valley. That's the second one on Jalen Shepard. And with 5:21 to go, we'll have our first sub of the game for Tippecanoe Valley. Going to be Jace Potter. Shepard has to come out with 2 early fouls. Delta has it inbounds. Corner three on the way. No good by Bryan. Tipped on the rebound. Hunt has the board at the elbow. Takes it out on top to Zach Garner, now on the wing to Bryan. Bryan drives. Goes all the way to the hole. Lays it up. No. But another 2-shot trip to the stripe coming for Delta as Bryan got fouled going to the hole. Wes Melanson picks up the foul. Going to the stripe is Josh Bryan. The Eagles leading score at 23 a game. The lefty set, fires, got it. Anytime you can start the day like this at the line, you're ahead of the game. It's a 7-5 Delta lead with 5:10 to go here in the first period. Bryan ready with the next one. Bends, fires, got it. Splashdown City, nothing but net. So Delta leads it 8-5, and they've got most of their points at the stripe. 6 of them, in fact. On the other end, right beneath us, Vikings going to work. High post pass to Potter. Now out on top, they swing to the wing to Melanson, and now in the corner to Trapedi, who works the wing against Wilburn's defense. Delta man-to-man against the Vikings here. Here's Parker out on top. Tries to drive inside, gets to the paint, lost the handle, turned over. Here comes the break. Bryan all the way to the hole, has it knocked out of his hands. It'll stay with Delta. Delta fans wanted to reach in foul. They didn't get it. 4:34 to go first period. It's going to be an inbounds play in baseline City as Greenberg slaps the ball and brings it into Garner. Bryan now inside. He's cold to start the game. Bryan missed another pull-up. Vikings can tie with a triple on this trip. Trapedi inside the arc to the free throw line. Now works on the wing to Potter. Potter gives it back to Trapedi with Bryan on him like a bad suit. Out on top, this is Parker. Garner guarding him. Here's a drive. Goes to his feet. Loses the handle, but the Vikes keep the ball. Good heads-up play by Potter. Here come the Vikings. Drive inside. Shot off the glass. Good. Give the bucket to Parker Dalrymple. And it's an 8-7 Delta lead. Under 4 minutes to go, first period. Bryan needs to get on track. Hasn't had a bucket yet. Greenberg, now a weave out on top. Bringing it this way, and now from Garner to Bryan. Bryan picks it up. Back to Wilburn. Drives to the elbow. Spins inside. Fires. Can't get it. Tip no good. Looks like it's going to be a loose ball foul on Tyler Wilburn, battling for the rebound of his own miss. And it is going to be on Wilburn. His first, second on Delta. Greenberg comes out of the game. Connor Bedwell makes his first appearance for Delta. So it's Bedwell, Wilburn, Hunt, Garner, and Bryan for the Eagles as they lead at 8-7. On the wing, three-pointer, on the way, God! Parker Dalrymple buries the triple. He's got 5, and it's 10-8. Back on top go the Vikings, and on the other end, Delta turns it over. Their second mistake of the day. And Tippy Valley has a 10-8 lead with 3:05 to go before the end of first period action. Trapedi across the timeline. On the arc, now the free throw line, works it back out. Drive, pull-up jumper from 12 feet. Rattles in and out, no good. Battle for the ball on the baseline off the miss by Dalrymple. Check it, the miss by Parker. It's going to stay with Tippy Valley. If I ever become commissioner, these numbers will be outlawed. Get them out of here. That's my editorial. You can't read them. Trapedi with the ball. Trapedi driving on Wilburn. Fires, blocked! Wilburn blocked his jump shot. Here comes Hunt with it. Look out. Better stop the ball. Baseline pass. Feed to Bedwell. Out on top of the arc for a 3. No good. Tip up. No good. Wilburn's 3 wouldn't go, and a loose ball foul on Delta. Brady Hunt, I believe. It is on Hunt. First one on Brady. Third against the Eagles. 2:34 left in the first period. It's a 10-8 game. Vikings out on top of the Eagles as Trapedi brings it to the top of the key. Now on the wing. Here's a drive inside. Dalrymple fires. Can't get it. Another board to Hunt. Quickly down the floor come the Eagles. Pass to the wing. Drive baseline. Shot up. God! No call. Contact, but Bedwell finished in traffic. And it's a 10-10 game, our third tie of the first quarter, with just over 2 minutes to go in the first period. What a great start to this one. The crowd loving it. Out on top, now to the wing, goes to Melanson. Melanson nearly threw it away. Bryan deflected it, but Trapedi picked it up for the Vikes. Trapedi spins inside, gets to Potter. Long 2 on the way, won't go. Rebound tipped up, taken away by Bedwell. Here he comes down the far sideline, still going to the free throw line, tries to feed the wing and gets fouled before he can do anything else with it. Another Tippy Valley foul. Been a lot of them. Parker Dalrymple with the foul this time on the Vikings. That's already 5 team fouls on Tippy Valley. Connor Bedwell going to the stripe to shoot 2 free throws. Delta has been dead-eye there today. And what do? Jinx him. He missed the first one. He'll shoot another. Sam Cox checking into the game for Delta in the final 1:42. Bedwell to shoot with Garner, Hunt, Wilburn, and Cox out there with him. Second one on the way. He missed them both. Long rebound comes down to Tippy Valley. Not what you wanted at the line from Bedwell. 10-10 game, minute and a half to go before the end of the first quarter. Now Delta content to lay back a little bit as Trapedi dribbles air out of the ball about 40 feet from the basket near the timeline. Gets on the wing. Now they feed it for a drive. Now a kick to the far side to Melanson. Melanson gives to the baseline drive. Can't get a shot. Nearly stolen away by Garner on Trapedi's pass, but it goes out of bounds near the Delta bench and stays with Tippy Valley in the forward court. Parker checks out for the Vikings. Tough place to trigger in from almost the corner of the forecourt. Comes in from Trapedi to Melanson. Trapedi says, give me the ball back. And he'll work the point. He's the 5'8" point guard for the Vikings. Pretty good little player. I can say that. I'm 5'8". He's working on Cox man-to-man. Now to Potter on the wing. He'll drive to the paint. Fakes Hunt. Turns around. Fires. Turn around. Won't go. Another rebound for Delta. This one to Wilburn and a long lead pass to Cox, who will settle the offense at the arc. Far side wing to Hunt. Out on top to Wilburn. Wilburn thought about jacking a 3. He thought better. Now on the wing to Hunt. Hunt behind the legs dribble. Feeds baseline. Bedwell drives one dribble. Now kicks it out to Wilburn. Clock down to 30 seconds to go first quarter. We'll see if the Eagles play for the final shot in a 10-10 tie. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They spread the floor. Garner holding the ball like Bobby Plump on his left hip as the clock burns under 20 seconds. Garner looking over at his coach, Mark Detweiler. Now he says, go to work. Garner picked up his dribble. Got it on top to Hunt. On the wing. Wilburn's 3 on the way. God! Wilburn buries his 5th point to make it 13-10. Here's a half-court shot that's just off the mark. And that ends things here in the first period. At the end of 1, it's Delta 13, Tippecanoe Valley 10 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. The games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit IHSAA.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
The second quarter at Marion with Delta leading Tippecanoe Valley 13-10. 6 out of 8 at the line in the first quarter. At the line for Delta as they go back to work here in period 2 on defense as Tippy Valley attacks for the first possession of the second quarter. Out on top with it is Dalrymple, the lefty. Takes it to the elbow, fires, can't get it. Rebound tipped out of Bedwell's hands, but he grabs it in midair. And here comes Delta with another rebound. They're having a great day on the glass. In the forecourt, feed to Bryan, drives inside, fakes, fires, got it. Beautiful move. Josh Bryan with his first bucket, his 4th point to make it 15-10. That's the biggest lead of the game at 5 for Delta. No win. Looking inside, takes it out on top to Melanson. Tries to get a pick, can't do anything with it. Delta still in a sticky man-to-man defense. Garner guarding the shooter. Baseline 2, no good for Cam Parker. Eagles fast down the court the other way. Cox out on top, wide open in the corner. Hunt for 3, no good, short. Rebound to Melanson of Tippy Valley. Just a little short, and you heard the clap of the hands. That was Hunt slapping his hands. He's not happy he missed that open 3. So Delta back to work on defense with a 5-point advantage. A long 3 from the wing, up, no good. That time by Dalrymple. He settled. That's impatience by Tippy Valley. On the other end, Delta turns it over on a bad pass. Here comes the break. Great work on the defensive end by Garner to tip it away from Dalrymple, who had a layup coming if he could get there. And I call him Stanley, the Stanley Lock, Mr. Lockdown D. Zach Garner just saved them at least 2 points. Couple subs checking in, 1 for each team. Jace Potter back in for Tippy Valley. Delta has Greenberg, Bedwell, Wilburn, Bryan, and Cox out there, so Hunt is taking a breather for the Eagles. 6:20 to go, second quarter. Tippy Valley with the ball, trying to find a shot. Here's Dalrymple on the give and go, throws it away. Good defense by Delta. Bryan has it. 20-footer, long 2, won't go. He's having a tough shooting day so far. The rebound knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Tippecanoe Valley. Bryan will let the game come to him. He's not gonna do too much to hurry the offense for himself. He's a very unselfish player. 15-10 game, 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Delta playing defense with a 5-point lead. Nearly a travel, but the Vikes get a break, and they keep the ball and the possession alive. Low post feed to Potter. Gets it back out on top to Parker on the wing. Parker thought about a 3. Got it to Trapedi across court instead. Cox guarding him. Now on a screen. Trapedi guarded by Bryan. That's a mismatch. Here's a lob inside, thrown out of bounds. Bad pass. As Dalrymple threw it into the second row for the 3rd turnover of the game by Tippecanoe Valley. Defensive stop thanks to the turnover. And here come the Eagles with a 15-10 lead. This game being played at Tippy Valley's pace so far. Delta with the lead though. Bedwell working against the man-to-man defense. Here's a curl inside for Bryan. He drives, he shoots, he can't get it off the side of the backboard. Having a little frustration there. I can see it in Josh's face. Good stop by the Vikings. Here they come with just over 5 minutes to go before halftime, trailing 15-10. Drive inside, tough 10-footer put up. Shooter's roll as Parker gets it to go. Makes it 15-12, and we've got a timeout on the floor. We'll take the break on the Delta timeout. 4:58 to go, second quarter. Delta 15-12 on Beaver Media and on the day right there.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Back to action with Delta holding the ball and a 15-12 lead here in the middle part of the second quarter. Stolen away from Garner as Trapedi picks his pocket. Fourth Delta turnover of the game. 3 so far by Tippy Valley. That was a great swipe by the Tippy Valley point guard. On the wing, Dalrymple, the left-hander, out on top to Parker. They move it near side wing to Trapedi, guarded by Bryan. That's a 6'3 guy guarding a 5'8 point guard, man-to-man. Trapedi gets free on the baseline, fires, can't go, in and out. Bryan with the glass, long lead pass ahead. Garner takes it baseline, works it to the corner. Greenberg's 3, no. Rebound inside by Wilburn, but it looks like it's going to be a Delta box out foul and probably on Wilburn. You hear the fan reaction from the Delta contingent. That is on Wilburn, and that's trouble. He's got 2. And right away, Connor Bedwell is up to check in, and Wilburn is going to come out. 4th team foul on Delta. Valley has committed 5. 4:16 to go, second quarter. It's Delta 15, Tippy Valley 12. Vikings ball in the forecourt with Trapedi working it. Works at top of the key, and now a bad pass. They tried to feed the post down low to the baseline, and it was thrown away by Parker Dalrymple for the 4th turnover of the day unofficially for the Vikings. So the Eagles get a break and the ball, and they'll bring it 84 feet to the other end with Garner dribbling across the timeline. Now works a bounce pass top of the key to Bryan. Bryan needs to get on track. On the wing to Bedwell. Behind the screen from Bryan. Spins inside. Fires a little turnaround 8-footer, no good. Rebound tip, now controlled by Tippy Valley. Here comes a 2-on-2 fast break for the Vikings. They go to the hole and they score on a nice move by Parker. He's got 9 points and it's 15-14. Delta's lead down to a point, another turnover. Here comes Tippy Valley. Melanson for the lead. Short, no good. Delta with the board and the ball, leading 15-14. Eagles need to settle down a little. Starting to press a little bit. Bryan drives baseline. Fans wanted to push off. Here's a wing 3 instead. God! Josh Greenberg says, give me 3 of those. And it's 18-14 Delta as he buries the wing triple. With 3 minutes to go here before halftime. Delta leading by 4. Here's a baseline pass thrown out of bounds again. Intended for Potter. Trapedi threw it out of bounds. Turnover number 5 unofficially by Tippy Valley. Delta's defense starting to really assert itself here with under 3 minutes to go before halftime. Eagles come to work on the offensive end. Here's Hunt. Cross-court pass on the wing to Bedwell. Doesn't hit the cutter. Works to the wing instead to Garner and right back in the corner to Bedwell. Man-to-man defensively by Tippy Valley. Greenberg with it. Starts a drive. Works it back behind the arc to Bedwell. Out on top between the rings to Bryan. Jab step, 3-pointer, no good. Rebound inside. Greenberg, great save to keep the possession alive. Bryan for 3. Yes! There you go. Josh Bryan buries his first triple to make it 21-14 Delta. Let's see if that's the one that gets him on track. 7-point Eagle lead with 2:15 to go in the second quarter. Vikings have the ball. They need a hoop. Garner guarding the ball handler, nearly thrown away. Nice job by the Vikings to keep it alive. Here comes a drive inside by Trapedi. His shot won't go. Brady Hunt with a man's rebound in heavy traffic. Delta brings it down the floor, looking for more. Here's Bryan driving to the wing, to the elbow, tries to feed down low. Kicks to the corner to Hunt. He wanted to shoot that 3 real bad, but he didn't. Smart play that time by the sophomore. Right corner to Garner. Garner behind a screen, dribbling, feeds the baseline. Great give and go! He hits for the assist to Josh Bryan. Bucket Bryan. Timeout Tippecanoe Valley. 1:29 to go before halftime. Delta with its biggest lead. It's the Eagles 23, the Vikings 14 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger, focus and determines them to soar like eagles. The games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit IHSAA.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to Bill Green Athletic Arena. We're at 1:29 to go in the second quarter. A little surge by Delta. 5 straight points by Josh Bryan on a triple and a baseline lay-in off a great backdoor cut and feed from Garner. And before you know it, it's 23-14 Delta here late in first half action. Quick look at the scoring. 9 for Josh Bryan, 5 for Wilburn, 5 for Greenberg, 2 for Hunt, 2 for Bedwell for the Delta Eagles. And on the other side, 5 by Dalrymple, 9 by Parker. And that's it. 2 scorers in the entire game in the first half for TV. Here they come out of the timeout by Chad Patrick. Vikings need a hoop. They've got it here on the near side wing. Now working on top to Melanson. Now to the point guard, Trapedi on the wing, back on top to Melanson. Now near side wing to Parker. Looks to feed the cutter. Thrown away. Fast break, Delta. Connor Bedwell lays it in by himself. Bedwell with the steal and the bucket. And it's a 25-14 Delta lead. Biggest gap of the day by either team. Tippecanoe Valley really struggling right here against the Delta defense. Been a while since they've scored. Clock under 50 seconds to go now in the first half. Will the Vikings hold for the final shot? Here's the feed to the elbow to Trapedi as he backs down Bedwell. Now out on the wing and right back to Trapedi. On top. They work it. On the wing to Parker and now back on top to Trapedi. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Vikings being patient here. Parker drives inside, fires a tough one in the paint, no good. Tried to get his own rebound. It's off his hands, out of bounds to Delta. Tough shot that time in heavy paint traffic for Parker, and he couldn't convert. So Delta has the ball and a 25-14 lead and 23.3 to go in the half. And checking back in for Bedwell is Bryan. So the Eagles will finish the half with Bryan, Garner, Greenberg, Wesley Wooden in the game, and Sam Cox, 5 guards. Here comes Bryan with it out on top. They work to Cox on the wing. Clock down to 10. Cox out on top. Dribbles to the right side. Gets to Bryan with 6. Bryan looks for the high screen from Wes Wooden. Instead, he'll fire a 3. He hit it! A bomb! A 24-footer just before the buzzer. Josh Bryan puts an exclamation point on it, and Delta takes its biggest lead of the day to the locker room. What a great final set for the Eagles, and they'll go to the locker rooms up by 14. We've reached halftime at Bill Green Athletic Arena. It's Delta 28, Tippecanoe Valley 14. Back with a halftime show after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
A 50-50 ball. An elbow to the ribs. A sudden flash of tempers. In sports, anything can happen in the heat of the moment. The Indiana High School Athletic Association reminds you that when cooler heads prevail, everybody wins. When the game heats up, will you keep your cool? This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community. The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community. A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. The games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and is a healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit ihsaa.org and get in the game.
Welcome back to the 3A Regional. Brian Beaver along with you in the all Delaware County press box. Love that today. And Delta finishes the half on a 13-0 run. And they go out in front 28-14 at halftime. Been a cold shooting first half for both teams. Delta officially 9 for 23. That's only 39%, but even worse for Tippy Valley. 6 for 20 to shoot 30% in the first half. And Tippy Valley managed 4 points in the second quarter against that vaunted Delta team defense. Delta weathered the storm early. Tippy Valley had several early leads. They last led at 10-8. They were tied at 10. Since then, it's been Delta just whipping them. So the Eagles get hot with their shooting in the second half. Tippy Valley is in some serious trouble if they don't get motivated and get moving fast, because when you're shooting 30%, it's going to be murder trying to make up a 14-point gap at halftime for Delta. We'll take another break. We'll look at some halftime stats and more. You're listening to the 3A Regional on the Delco Preps channel. You stay right there.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We're back in Marion halftime here as Delta leads Tippecanoe Valley 28-14. First half scoring for Delta. Josh Bryan leading the way with 12 points. Tyler Wilburn with 5. Josh Greenberg with 5. Brady Hunt with 2. Connor Bedwell with 4 off the bench. Zach Garner scoreless in the first half. So was Sam Cox and Wesley Wooden to round out Delta's 28 at halftime. Tippecanoe Valley, 2 guys in the book at all. 2 guys. You look at their scoring leader for the year, Parker Dalrymple, 5 points. And the other scoring, Cam Parker, who came in averaging 9-8 and has 9 at halftime. Tanner Trapedi, 10.4 per game, nothing in the first half. Sam Shepard, just under 7 a game, nothing in the first half. Wes Melanson, 6 1/3 a game, nothing in the first half. Jace Potter off the bench for nothing in the first half. That's what you call lockdown defense. Delta only allowed 4 second quarter points. And they come on the court here with the warm-up period underway, both teams with Delta in the driver's seat. You look at the foul situation, Tyler Wilburn has 2 for Delta. He's the only Eagle with more than 1. Jalen Shepard has 2 for Tippy Valley, and he's the only Viking with more than 1. Another stat that stuck out, free throws. Delta 6 out of 8. Tippy Valley hasn't made one because they haven't shot one at all. They've not gotten to the line in the first half. 6 turnovers by Tippy Valley, 5 by Delta. So the Eagles looking good. They finally got Brian going on that 5-point burst, part of that 13-0 run. And it went from being 15 to 14 after a 4-point Tippy Valley run. That's all they got the rest of the way as Delta pulled away with a 13-0 run at the end of the first half. I know a lot of people say they don't play anybody. They got a weak schedule. They're not this, they're not that. They can't be whatever. They'll play in traffic. This is a really good team. You don't go to 26-0 playing Little Sisters of the Poor in their league. That's a good league they play in. And they've beaten Newcastle twice, and Newcastle's as good as anybody you'll find. So this nonsense about Delta can't do this, Delta can't do that, they just can't get off the floor. We'll take one final break, come back to start the third quarter after this on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
The Indiana High School Athletic Association has a simple message for all those who participate in high school athletics. Play hard. Play to win. But above all, play with respect. Respect for your teammates, respect for your opponents, and respect for the game. Practice sportsmanship the way you play. All right. About the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. But the games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit IHSAA.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to Bill Green Athletic Arena. We're set to go with the second half. Delta will flip the floor, come right at us here in the second half. They'll get the ball and inbound it at midcourt. Need help getting it in. It comes into the forecourt to Brady Hunt, who will give it right back to the inbound passer, Wilburn. 14-point game. The Eagles doubled up Tippy Valley in the first half, a 28-14 contest. Brian with it on the wing, fakes, drives, kicks it to the wing to Garner. He'll take it inside, lays it up and in with the left hand. Zach Garner, 2 points for him, and it's 30-14. Eagles on in front by 16. TV needs to get moving fast. Trapedi with the ball. He'll leave it out here for Dalrymple out on top. Melanson on the wing with it, works to the corner. Trapedi gets it back to Melanson. Trapedi on the wing, guarded by Brian. Josh's length has really bothered Trapedi. That's a good man-to-man matchup for Delta. Here's a drive into the paint. Nearly lost the handle. Back to the wing. Three-pointer up and good by Cam Parker. He has 12 in the game, and that makes it 30-17. Delta way out in front. Working on the offensive end. Wilburn with it. Gave it to the wing. Greenberg's three. Good! Josh is just sticking it today. He's looking confident, and it's 33-17. Delta leads by 16 points on the other end. Vikings going to work. They need a bunch in a hurry. Nearly thrown away. As Dalrymple tried to hit Tripedi, Bryan deflected it out of bounds right near the TV bench. TV being Tippecanoe Valley, they'll bring it in. Comes into the backcourt. Parker will bring it across the timeline with the left-hand dribble. Still dribbling out high. Now takes it to the free throw line. Tripedi weaves down low. Throws it out of bounds off the foot of a Delta defender. It'll stay again with Tippecanoe Valley. Baseline inbound play just to the right of the basket and the key. Tripedi to bring it in. Looking for help. Needs some help. Gets it baseline. Layup up and good. Someone got beaten on defense as Melanson laid it in. Nice play for the Vikings to make it 33-19. They'll look at that one in film a couple times. Hunt with it. Feeds low post to Bryan. Bryan, one dribble. Spins. Feeds baseline. Nice reverse lay-in. Beautiful dime from Bryan on the Brady Hunt field goal. 4th point of the day for Hunt. 35-19. Delta leading. Still man-to-man on the other end of that Josh Bryan-Tripedi matchup has been frustrating all day for the Vikings. Melanson faked the three, drove inside the arc, fired a two, no good, short. Rebound comes down, and Josh Bryan couldn't put the clamps on it. It's off of him, out of bounds. So the Vikings catch a bit of a break there. The normally sure-handed Bryan couldn't grab the rebound, and it's inbound city for Tippecanoe Valley. Comes in down low. Turnaround shot up, no good. Rebound comes down off the Shepherd miss to Brady Hunt. He's got to be closing in on 10. Hunt has it. Top of the key. Drives, traveled. Unofficially, 6 turnovers in the game by Delta. And with 5:25 to go third quarter, here comes Tippy Valley with the ball and a 19, make it a 16-point gap, staring them in the face at 35-19. It's been all Delta since about the middle of the second quarter. Here's a nice move inside, swatted away as Melanson took it up. Hunt blocked it away. We've got a loose ball foul on the scrum. It's on Tippy Valley. It's on Wes Melanson. Great block that time by Hunt. Brady's playing great in the state tournament. Eagles will bring it across the timeline. Garner giving to Greenberg out on top. Now way out on top to Wilburn. Far side wing to Garner. Man-to-man this trip by the Vikings. Wilburn looking to feed high post to Hunt. Hunt gets it back out to Wilburn, who drives baseline, fakes, fires it back out to Hunt, who wants to shoot it, drives it inside instead. Tough move in traffic. His shot off the glass and off the rim, no good. Delta with the offensive glass. Bryan baseline, 15-footer that won't go. The rebound goes to Tippy Valley and a foul reaching in on Zach Garner of Delta, trying to steal it from him. First one on Zach today. So another good defensive job that time by Tippy Valley. They're trying hard to fight their way back in at trailing 35-19. Here's a turnover by the Vikings. Delta bringing it down. Bryan passes to the wing to Garner. Garner, low post, right back to Bryan. He turns, fakes, spins again, fires, no good. He wanted a foul. Ball is out of bounds to Tippy Valley. No foul. Greenberg is going to take a seat for Delta. Connor Bedwell replaces JG. And just that fast, another player from Tippy Valley up, but he didn't get checked in. Went on the court without being waved in. Can't do that, son. We're all good now with Tippecanoe Valley in the forecourt. Going to work. Three-pointer from the wing. Off the front iron. No good that time by Parker. Delta with the board and the ball. We're under 4 minutes to go. Third quarter now. Delta in the forecourt holding the ball on a 35-19 lead. Garner still on the dribble on the wing. Now feeds here in the corner to Wilburn. Low post to Hunt. One dribble. Fakes. Fires. He's going to be fouled and shoot free throws. I think it's going to be on Wes Melanson. Nope, it's not. They're going to give it to Shepherd instead. Jalen Shepherd with his third foul. Second on the team. It's a two-shot trip to the line. 4 points in the game. Make it 5. 36-19 Delta. Hunt is 3 out of 3 from the line. Delta's having a really nice day at the stripe. It's been a big factor in this one. Hunt looking for his 6th point of the day. Fires and hits. Hunt buried them both. He's got 6 in the game, and the lead is 37-19. to 19. Eagles on top by 18. I believe that's their biggest lead of the game. Tripedi pounding the air out of the ball. Now cross-court pass, and then right back to Tripedi, and he buries a three. His first points of the game for Tripedi to make it 37-22. Eagles nearly turn it over, and they do turn it over. Bedwell had it knocked out of his hands, went to the floor to try to get it in a double team, and they said he traveled with it. 7 turnovers on Delta. 7 in the game by Tippy Valley as well. 3:15 to go, third quarter. 37-22 Delta. Here's a wild shot by Tripedi, partially blocked by Bryan. Here come the Eagles. Driving to the paint is Bedwell. Out on top, Wilburn all alone. Three-pointer off the front iron. Tripedi with a running rebound. Fast break for the Vikings, but no advantage. They'll set up instead. Ball loose on the floor. Tripedi has it now. Corner of the key jumper. Air ball. Rebound out of bounds off the hands of a Tippy Valley player. Jace Potter couldn't corral it, and Delta will get the ball. Eagles will bring Zach Garner out. They'll send Sam Cox in. So it's Wilburn, Bedwell, Cox, Bryan, and Hunt now for the Eagles as they bring it into the forecourt with 2:45 to go in the third period, leading 37-22. Nice drive inside Bedwell. Kicks to the wing. Bryan's three. Gone! 15 points in the game for Josh Bryan. It's a 40-22 Delta lead. Late here in the third quarter. Josh is finally a little untracked. Started cold, but now he's stroking it. Back on defense go the Eagles. Here's a drive to the paint. Kick pass to Tripedi out on the wing. Cross-court pass. Now Tripedi gets it back in the corner. He fires a three. It's too strong. Man's rebound inside again by Brady Hunt. He's owning the glass here in the state tournament. He brings it across the timeline on the dribble. He's a 6'5" man with point guard ball handling skills. Watch out for the backdoor lob coming here. Bryan for three out on top. Again! Buries it! 18 points for Josh Bryan. 43-22 Delta. On the other end, a three up and no good. Dalrymple couldn't find the range. Rebound to Cox of Delta. Final 1:35 of the period. Delta leading 43-22. 21-point advantage for the number one unbeaten Eagles. They're showing you why. Low post feed to Wilburn. He had it stolen away. Good defense by the Vikings that time. Here comes Tippy Valley in a hurry. Three-pointer from the far wing. Up short that time. Rebound by Josh Bryan off the miss of the three-pointer. Bryan with the ball. Double team at the arc. Timeout called by Delta. Mark Detweiler says, let's talk things over. 1:06 to go, third quarter. It's Delta 43, Tippy Valley 22 on the Delco Preps channel.
The Indiana High School Athletic Association has a simple message for all those who participate in high school athletics. Play hard. Play to win. But above all, play with respect. Respect for your teammates, respect for your opponents, and respect for the game. Practice sportsmanship the way you play. All right. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Brian Beaver back with you in Marion. The final tonight is half set, and we're getting close to all the way set. Marion won game one over Angola, 59-38. With 1:06 to go here in the third quarter, Delta's lead has stretched all the way to 43-22. Delta took that timeout to set something up here for late in the third quarter. They'll break the huddle and send Cox, Wooden, Greenberg, Garner, and Bedwell back. This is the same set they ran at the end of the second quarter, same group of five. Let's see what they do with it here. Clock now under a minute. Wooden with it on the wing. Couple dribbles to his left. Looks for help. Gets it off to Cox. Cox now works it on the wing to Garner. Now here in the corner to Wes Wooden. Wooden takes it back out on top to Bedwell. Clock down to 45. Bedwell drives the baseline. They stop him. Now he goes again. Give and go move. He fires. He has his shot blocked out of bounds. Nice play by Cam Parker of the Vikings. That'll stop the clock with 39.5 to go, and Delta inbounding the ball on the baseline. It comes into Cox, fires a three, short, no good. Rebound taken by Bedwell, throws it back in. It's taken by Garner out near the timeline. Delta keeps the possession alive. Final 30 seconds of the period. Here comes Garner way out near the M on the floor in the center of the floor here at Bill Green Athletic Arena. Cox double team, works it out of trouble. Now it's in the corner. Now back to the wing with Connor Bedwell. Clock down to 15. Garner out on top. Works it on the wing to Bedwell. Working it around the perimeter. The Eagles looking for a shot. Final 5 seconds. Wooden to the corner. Cox fakes, drives, fires a teardrop. It rattles out, no good. Tip up, no good. Another tip, no good by Wooden, who got 2 chances at it but couldn't convert. That takes us to the end of the third quarter. The score as we go to the break. Delta 43, Tippecanoe Valley 22. Back with final period action after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
You'll see adversity tackled and obstacles overcome. You'll be energized by the thrill of triumph or moved to tears by a sudden crushing defeat. You'll feel a surge of adrenaline. You'll feel like you're on top of the world. You'll experience it all as you watch the Indianapolis Colts compete for another Super Bowl title.
Sure, but you can also experience it by attending a high school sporting event in your community. Your local high school sports teams and the Indianapolis Colts really do have a lot in common. They give communities a chance to come together, to cheer for the home team. They give us a chance to be part of something truly special, but only if we give them our support. Back to you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
The IHSAA and your Indianapolis Colts, bringing communities together. The Indianapolis Colts are proud sponsors of the IHSAA State Football Tournament.
Here we go with fourth quarter action just underway. Tippecanoe Valley will have the ball, trailing 43-22. Trapedi out on the point, guarded still by Josh Bryant. Valley throws it away. Fast break. Wilburn by himself. Stutter step inside. They're going to say no. Euro step that he traveled. Martin Detweiler's going to lose his religion. He can't believe the call. Neither could Wilburn. 9th turnover of the game against Delta. Well, if that's the worst thing that happens to you today, you're in good shape, because Delta's not in front by 21 points as Trapedi brings the ball across the timeline for the Vikings. They've really got to get going. They like to play methodical. You can't play methodical now. You got to start looking for threes. Here's one on the way out on top. No good. Rebound tipped out on top. It's kept off the miss by Dalrymple. The Vikings managed to get the offensive glass, and now Delta with a foul on a double team in the forecourt. Josh Greenberg is the offender. First foul on Josh. Tippy Valley to inbound right in front of their coach on the bench. Trapedi has it back. The point guard takes it out between the rings. Gets it back. Fires a three. It's up high. Long rebound comes down to Hunt. He got hit in the face. No foul call. And he'll just come down the floor. It says, I get hit harder than that in football practice every day. 7 minutes left in this one. It looks like it's going to be Marion and Delta tonight for the title. We can't seal it just yet, but here's the foul in the forecourt, common foul against Tippy Valley. Trapedi, I believe, is going to pick it up. It is Tanner Trapedi with his second foul, third one on the team. Delta will inbound off the common foul. Brian with it on the wing. Cross-court pass to Garner now here in the near wing to Greenberg as they double-team him. Hunt, Garner, Brian on the wing. Good ball movement by Delta. Skip pass to the corner, Greenberg to the wing. Here's Hunt driving inside. Leaves it free throw line for Wilburn. Brian all alone for three from the corner! Brian with another triple for his 21st point. 46-22 is the Delta lead. Wow. That's 4 trays in a row for Brian. Tippy Valley back to work. If they don't have a major rally here in the next couple of minutes, they're going home unhappy. Trapedi on top with the ball. Works to the wing. Fires for three. No good. Off the miss by Parker. Another board for Delta goes to Wilburn. Quick pass ahead. Here comes Hunt driving it. Look at that. Showboat move. He got hacked on the left arm with the ball in his right hand with a pretty move. Doesn't get the goal. He'll shoot the free throws. Dalrymple picks up the second foul for Tippy Valley, and going back to the stripe is Brady Hunt. Don't like jinxing guys. He's 4 out of 4. Make it 5 out of 5. He says, shut up, Beaver. I can stick him. 47-22. You got to have a little fun. Hunt, 5 out of 5 from the line. Here goes the next one. Boom. He's really stroking it well from the line. 48-22. Delta's lead is 26 points, and Don Meredith is warming up the goodbye song. Here's a turnover by Tippy Valley. Comes into the forecourt. Here's Greenberg with it. He'll pull it back out. Dribbles out of trouble. Here the fans love it. His Meadowlark Lemon routine. Wilburn on the baseline. Fakes. Sends it back out on top. Greenberg's three. No. Rebound comes down to Melanson of Tippy Valley. Good defense by the Vikings that trip. Their defense hasn't been bad. Delta's offense has just been terrific. Here's another near steal by Delta. Goes to the backcourt, but Trapedi has it. Now he's whistled, and it's going to be a foul on Delta, guarding him closely, Josh Greenberg. No, they're going to give the foul to Zach Garner. Zach has 2, 3 for the team. Here the hand for Zach Garner as he comes out. You're going to see the starters come out to rest because you've got a quick turnaround for the championship game tonight. Looks like Delta's going to it. Melanson's 3 on the way. No good from the corner. Offensive rebound inside. Vikings can't get anything going. Delta steals it from Trapedi. 5 minutes to go in the game. This one is all but over. Delta leading 48-22. It looks like the Eagles are going to go 27-0, and they're going to give everybody who wanted it what they were asking for. Delta versus Marion for all the marbles and a trip to the Final Four tonight. Delta working it in the forecourt. Greenberg picked up his dribble out on top to Wilburn. Lob pass to the baseline. Circus shot! Greenberg caught it in midair and just reverse laid it in with English. Didn't come down. What a pretty bucket to make it 50-22. Near turnover again by Tippy Valley. Trapedi drives, has it stolen away from behind. Fast break Delta, 4-on-3. Ball knocked away from Wilburn. He's going to go to the stripe. Oh, they're going to say common foul, out of bounds. Foul is going to be on Wes Melanson of Tippecanoe Valley. Subs checking in now for Delta. Sam Cox and Wesley Wooden will come in. Brady Hunt and Josh Bryan will come out with 4:14 left in the game to give them some additional rest. You got that extra 2-hour rest for Marion to consider now. And Mark Detweiler doing the smart thing. In behind the arc to Wilburn, who dribbles up between the rings. Now cross-court pass to Cox. Cox right back to Wilburn. Eagles are going to burn some clock each trip down the floor. This one is in their back pocket. They're going to pick up their 27th win in a row. Greenberg has it out on top, showing off his handles with Trapedi guarding him. Greenberg does it again, breaks him down, goes to the baseline, feeds Wesley Wooden. It's out of bounds off a Tippecanoe Valley Viking defender. Checking in for Tippy Valley. Parker's going back in. Dwight Conley making his first appearance for the Vikings today. Delta goes back to work. Here's a drive to the paint. Tough shot up off the glass by Wilburn. No. Rebound taken away by Jalen Shepard of Tippy Valley. 3:35 to go in the game. It's all over except for the final score at 50-22. Three-pointer up. Dalrymple says, I'm taking 3 more. 8th point for Dalrymple to make it 50-25. Delta has doubled up on Tippy Valley. Impressive performance, especially in the middle 2 quarters. We'll tell you more about that in the postgame. I'll give you a hint. Defense. Here's a drive. Bedwell, lay in good on a pretty drive and score for Connor Bedwell. He has 6 to make it 52-25. Dalrymple behind a screen for another 3, splashdown. Vikings got to be thinking, where's that been all day? 52-28. Dalrymple has 11 points. He's 1 off his season average. Final 2:38 of the game. Delta in mop-up mode here with some subs on the floor. Bedwell with the ball right now. Left-hand dribble, has it stolen away. Dangerous play. He'll get a lecture. Here's Dalrymple again. Let's see if he strokes a 3rd tray in a row. He's going to try. It's on the way. No good. Loose ball on the rebound, taken down by Bedwell. He'll push it down the floor in the final 2:15. Wes Wooden has it, and Mark Detweiler says, give me a timeout. We'll take the break with him. 2:10 to go in this one. Delta's going to win again. It's Eagles 52, Vikings 28 on the Delco Preps channel.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. The games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit IHSAA.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
We're back underway in the final 2:10 of the 4th quarter. Delta's going to go to the championship game tonight and take on Marion. They lead Tippecanoe Valley 52-28. Bench clearing time for Delta. Nate Sutherland is out there in the game. He's got the ball and he traveled with it. So the Eagles have Wooden, Sutherland, Bedwell, Cox, and Dalen Case in the game. And now a classy move for Chad Patrick as he clears his bench and lets his starters come off the floor to a nice hand from their strong contingent today. They traveled pretty well. And they're going to leave here unhappy, but they've had a darn good season. They won 5 games a year ago. And they're going to leave here today 15-10. But Chad Patrick is a good coach, and he's got his program going in the right direction. So here we go. Mop-up time. As Delta's going to win going away. Braden Shepard in the game, and he's got the ball for Valley. It's knocked away. Cox with the steal. Here he comes. Fires on the run off the glass. Good. Sam Cox is in the book with a pair. 54-28 is the score. On the other end, the Vikings go to work, trailing big time. Delta still guarding man-to-man. Out on top now to the wing. Shepard gives it to the wing. His three-pointer is no good off the mark that time by Rex Kirkenstein. And Delta with the rebound and the ball and 1:06 to burn before going to get something to eat and to rest and to plan for tonight's championship game. They're going to go to the Elite 8, if not more. Case has it high post. Final 50 seconds of the game. Knocked away, stolen away by Tippecanoe Valley. On the other end, the lay-in blown, no good by Braden Shepard. Cox brings it across the timeline for Delta into the forecourt. Sutherland on the wing. One dribble, gives it to Cox, and you'll hear the Delta fans now come to their feet. What an ovation for the #1 unbeaten Eagles. And a fantastic performance today, especially the final 3 quarters. Delta's coaching staff still coaching hard with a 26-point lead and a half minute to burn. These guys know what they're doing. Bedwell with it on the wing, just dribbling the final 15 seconds away. You hear the chant, Delta Eagles. The final 5 seconds will burn off. Bedwell will dribble it away, and this one's over. The final score, Delta 54, Tippecanoe Valley 28. The Eagles are in the Elite 8, and they'll play for a regional championship tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll take a quick break, come back with the post-game show after this timeout and the Delco Preps channel.
This may sound like a typical high school basketball game being played on a Friday night in Indiana. In fact, it's a crash course in teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development in action. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, high school sports teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, leadership, and the importance of believing in your teammates and supporting your community. High school sports, a healthy part of a complete education. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in this community.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Marion High School, Bill Green Athletic Arena. Celebration time, although muted, because even though Delta wanted this one, the one they really want is coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. Delta advances to the championship game with a 54-28 victory over Tippecanoe Valley. The Eagles closed this game on a 39-14 blast. It was 15-14 Eagles when the Avalanche came loose at the top of the mountain. And by the time it settled in the valley, Tippecanoe Valley was sent packing. Look at the line score. This is what I've been telling you all year. Lockdown defense for Delta. They led 13-10 at the end of a quarter, 28-14 at halftime. That means Tippy Valley scored 4 points in the entire second quarter. Delta led 43-22 at the end of 3, another 8-point quarter for the Vikings. And in the fourth quarter, 21-6 Delta for the period, and they win it going away, 54-28. Remarkable performance by this great, and I mean great, high school basketball team. They're as good as I've ever seen at Delta, and right there with just about anyone you can name in Delaware County history, the Muncie Central great teams, they're right there. Muncie Central won 8 state championships and never went undefeated doing it. And Delta is 3 wins away from becoming the first. Wouldn't that be something? Wow. We just received the final stats officially. We'll pass them down and take a break. And when we come back, the official stats and the final score, and we'll maybe talk briefly with Mark Detweiler after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. The games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit ihsaa.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
Brian Beaver back with you from Bill Green Athletic Arena in Marion. The final two teams in this regional, well, they're ready to go, and it's going to be an Ali Frazier punch, bloody fist fight to the end, most likely tonight. Marion was impressive this morning, dispatching Angola 59-38. And later on here this afternoon, Delta really put the pedal down in the middle two quarters, and they go away with a 54-28 victory tonight to punch their ticket to the regional championship game. Delta hasn't won a regional title in 10 years. A win tonight would send them to the Final Four. That's what's at stake when the Giants and the Eagles get together in, well, about 6 hours or so at 8 o'clock tonight. Fantastic performance by Delta. Look at the stats. Josh Bryan led all scorers in the game with 21 points. Once he got untracked, he hit 7 of 15 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, and that's really where he got going. One other man in double figures for Delta. It was Josh Greenberg with 10 points, 8 for Brady Hunt, 6 for Connor Bedwell, 5 for Tyler Wilburn, 2 apiece for Zach Garner and for Sam Cox. And you look down at Tippy Valley, only 2 men in double figures. Cameron Parker was over his season average to lead the Vikings today. He came in average just under 10 and scored a dozen. Parker Dalrymple was good for 11 today, and that's just one off his season average. Where the game really turned was the turnovers and the field goal shooting. For the game, Delta finished 18 of 42 for 43% overall. And for the game, Tippecanoe Valley, 11 out of 41 for 27%. So Delta came in here today. They gave up .362 for opponents' field goal percentage in their 3 games at Newcastle, and today they hold the team they're playing to 268. How do you like that ham sandwich? Pretty good defensive unit down there in dark blue. We'll take another break, come back to set things up for tonight. Maybe a quick chat with Mark Detweiler. We don't want to keep him long. We'll see if we get him next on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Marion High School, Bill Green Athletic Arena, as the Delta fans linger on the floor. Let that sensation wash over them. They have won for the 27th time in a row in 2018-19, and they'll play for a regional championship on this floor. Oh, not too long from now. But, man, what a performance by Delta. They outscored Tippecanoe Valley 30-12 in the middle 2 periods on either side of halftime. And it's tough to beat anybody when you're doing that. And when you shoot under 30% from the field, in fact, under 27% from the field, as Tippecanoe Valley did in this game, really, really difficult to beat anybody and have any kind of success. But Chad Patrick's kids should hold their heads high. They had a really nice season at 15-10. Last year they won 5 times, whole year. So when you triple your win total and you play in the regional semifinal, the kids from Akron, I know, didn't play the way they wanted to and didn't come away with the result they wanted, but man, they were game to the challenge and they never, ever gave up, and they played hard right to the finish. And that's a credit to them and Chad Patrick and the rest of the folks up at Tippecanoe Valley. What do you do if you're Delta? You go get a good lunch, you rest for a while, you study Marion, you game plan, and you finish game planning for Marion, and then you come put all the marbles on the line. It's an all-in poker game tonight. 2 really good teams. Only one of them gets to go to the Final Four, and they'll decide that down there on that beautiful hardwood floor that we're gazing upon from the second row up here in the upper bowl. We're going to get out of here and do the same thing. Mark Detweiler is probably busy, and I'm not going to ask for time from him today, right now. Maybe tonight, not now. He's got better things to do than come up and talk to us, and that's understandable. So, the final score for the final time in the 3A regional semifinal. Delta improves to 27-0. They beat Tippecanoe Valley by a final score of 54-28. For all of us at Beaver Media, I'm Brian Beaver. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Come back again tonight, 8 o'clock tip. Pregame at around 7:50 or so. Follow me on Twitter at Delco Preps. I'll give you an exact time. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you tonight, everybody. So long.